But now for the latest news of the RAC Rally, we join William Woolard with his Top Gear Rally Report.
Hello and welcome to tonight's Lombard RAC Rally Report. And even as we go on the air, some of the cars are still thrashing their way down through the giant Kielder Forest in Yorkshire, the biggest man-made forest in Europe, a rally driver's nightmare. As Jimmy McRae has said, it's just one damn tree after another. But it's a critical stage in the battle for leadership, and we hope to have the leaders' positions as they come out of the forest before we go off the air this evening. But let's pick up where we left off yesterday evening. 7 stages completed, the stranglehold that the Audi cars have had on this event over the past 3 years, clearly being challenged by Ari Vatanen in his remarkably quick and remarkably agile Peugeot 205. He was in the lead, but only 88 seconds separated the top 10 drivers, and Britain's Russell Brooks and Jimmy McRae and Malcolm Wilson all in very good positions. But today was a fearsome challenge, 533 miles up into Scotland, back into Yorkshire, 152 miles of special stages through those fearsome forests. The cars left Chester at 5 a.m. this morning. Let's pick them up in the Lake District with Barry Gill.
Dawn in the Grisdale Forest near Windermere, but this peaceful scene was soon shattered as Ari Vatanen and the pace-setting Peugeot set out to build on his overnight lead. But the Finn had problems. A fire extinguisher went off inside the car halfway through the stage, and this is one stage on which he wasn't quickest. That honour belonged to Hannu Mikkola, the other Finn who's never been out of the Lombard top 2 since 1977. He claimed the fastest time, a precious 4 seconds quicker than Vatanen. Behind them, still in third place, Michel Mouton was impressive in the new, shorter 450 horsepower Audi. Per Eklund in the Toyota was now in 9th place and going well. But he was being chased very hard indeed by Top Gear's Malcolm Wilson. Malcolm was third fastest over this testing 17-mile stage, and that was enough to promote the 20-year-old Englishman from 6th to 4th place. On to Lowther, and the early morning crowds were treated to some very sideways motoring. Vatanen was going well, but nobody could match the pace of big Bjorn Voldegaard. Watch him here, sideways, and yet still quickest by 4 seconds and spectacular with it in the Toyota. A rotary engine and a rotary style for Philippe Van Berg, giving the Mazda its first outing here. Mats Jonsson, one of the junior Swedish stars, giving the Ascona a very nasty turn indeed. The Middle East Rally champion, Saeed El Hajri. He was learning about British conditions the hard way. Yet another Audi Quattro, Michael Eriksson, heading into 26th place. The British drivers were coming into their own. Jimmy McRae, Russell Brooks and Malcolm Wilson were 3rd, 4th and 5th fastest here. Cares hope, and suddenly there was trouble for the leaders. Take a look at Vatanen's Peugeot. The bonnet flew off during the stage, yet he still managed to finish 3 seconds ahead of Mikkola, and his lead was over a minute. Jimmy McRae, Britain's only seeded rally driver, was now 7th overall. Safari star Shaker Mater, finding it tough going in the Nissan. Michel Mouton, hoping to break the Scandinavian domination of our biggest motorsporting event. And here's the last man to do it, Roger Clark, twice a winner, but down in 25th place. Chris Lord of Leeds was in trouble, a jammed brake caliper, and it certainly didn't help the people who were following him. I don't think he won any cheers from Bertie Fisher's Manta, or indeed Malcolm Wilson, when they found him jammed in their path. But Malcolm had other troubles in store, as Sue Baker found out when she spoke to him just before he went into the Parc Fermé, where no work like this is allowed on the car.
Malcolm, you've limped in here to a garage at Point. What's been the trouble?
Well, first of all, on the first few stages this morning, we had a rear crankshaft oil seal go. But fortunately, the mechanics managed to change this at Ambleside.
Yeah.
But the thing's gone again, so we've had a slip-in clutch, but also the gear linkage broke, so the last two stages we've been jammed in fourth gear, so we've lost something around 6 minutes, which has put us well down the order.
So a real bag of trouble today. How far have you dropped down the field?
I don't know, I would think probably somewhere in the 30s.
And how long have they got now to fix it before you have to be into Parc Fermé?
We've got another 5 minutes before Parc Fermé, and then we can come back in when they're actually going to take the gearbox and everything out again.
Will they be able to do this in 5 minutes to get you in there?
Well, we can just take enough parts off the car at the moment to make it mobile, and then we'll come back in again after we've clocked in, and then we've got probably half an hour to work on the car.
How serious a problem is it to cope with in that half an hour?
Well, they did it in 40-odd minutes this morning. So.
What happened on the road? I gather you were trying to do something yourself.
No, that was only in a stage when the gear linkage broke. I had to sort of try and find a gear with a pair of pliers, and that's what we've done for the last two stages.
John, what troubles have you had today with the car?
Well, the car's run very well. We've clipped a couple of rocks en route to getting here in the Scottish stages, which is nothing abnormal, I don't think, and we've towed the track of the front out and also the left rear slightly, but we've got one of them cured already, and when we come out of Parc Fermé, they'll cure the other one.
So you've got a bit more work to do on the car after Parc Fermé?
Yeah, probably 10 more minutes, but the car's running well, and we're going at a pace that we think is comfortable yet quick, and everything seems to be rosy so far, but then again, Knight and Kielder are coming.
Nigel, the mechanics are up against the clock. They're obviously going to have to try and fix your car very quickly. How much time are you going to be able to give them?
I'd like them to just have 30 minutes. They reckon they can get it done within the 30 minutes. We've clocked into Parc Fermé now, and we shall bring it out, and instead of going straight down the road to the next stage, we'll come back here. And it's only got two-wheel drive at the moment. We'll convert it back to four-wheel drive with the other prop shaft, having changed the clutch and the crankshaft oil seal.
What does all this mean to your position in the rally?
God knows at the moment. It's declining somewhat, but you know, there's an awful long way to go, and as long as we can have a good hard slog up through Wales, where we seem to go hopefully fairly well, then fingers crossed.
Well, fingers crossed indeed for Malcolm Wilson, because Ari Vatanen was clearly setting a blistering pace north into Scotland, really stretching the field, and as they turned south and plunged down towards Kielder Forest, there was 7 minutes separating the top 10 drivers. But as I say, Kielder is a critical stage in this rally. It's like 25% of all the retirements can occur there. It's also the place in the past where Hannu Mikkola has made his great charge, opening up a gap of 6 or 7 minutes, thoroughly demoralising the rest of the opposition. So the questions were, could Wilson get back onto the leaderboard? Could Mikkola catch Vatanen? Well, Wilson really motored over the next two stages. He clawed his way back to 8th position on the leaderboard, but then steam was seen to be pouring out of the front end of the car. He was last seen on the end of a tow rope, being towed out of Kielder, and I'm sure he'll be desolated, but it was a great drive for as long as it lasted. Mikkola did make his charge. He trimmed a few seconds off Vatanen in the last stages of Kielder, but as you can see from the leaderboard, he didn't catch him. So we've now got, after 2 days, a really tight position. Vatanen in the lead, hotly pursued by 3 Audis, but notice more than 2 minutes separating first and second. John Buffum, the American ace, clearly having a great drive in his Audi. And then behind them, a battle royal developing between the two-wheel drive drivers. Just look at them. We've got a Toyota, then we've got an Opel Manta 400, another Toyota, 2 Nissan 240 RSs, another Opel Manta 400. That's despite the fact that Brooks fell off the road onto his roof, totally crushed, had to be helped out of the car, back onto the road, pointing in the right direction, lost only 3.5 minutes. So a great rally. We'll be back 11:45 tomorrow. See you then. Until then, good night.